what's up? How are you doing today? Welcome back to Always Alyssa. So today I have an art tutorial for you guys. This one's going to be super fun. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to draw a parrot. It's going to be so much fun. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in the end product. I know it looks super hard. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But once you do it, it's actually not as hard as you might think. This is kind of a recent art style that I've been messing around with and just trying out. I think I've probably discovered it just in the past year or so. I haven't been doing the style very long, but I've improved a lot in it already and I think it's super fun. One of my favorite art styles to do. So I'm going to be using colored pencils for this, mainly Prismacolors, and I'm going to be using shades of blue, yellow, green. I'll be using a little bit of brown, black, and white as well. So I actually love parrots a lot. They're probably one of my favorite animals, and that's why I decided to draw a parrot for today's tutorial. I actually ran into this pretty cool parrot sanctuary like pretty recently, so I'm going to show you guys that. It's super cool.
Wow, he's a beauty.
I know, he's so cute.
Thank you. Aww. Oh, you're gonna go back that fast? Keep walking. Oh my gosh. Alyssa, you're popular. Oh gosh, there's one on my head. These two are so cute. They're both different looking too.
Isn't it pretty, right?
Wow, they ate every speck of that nectar. Whoa.
He's cool. Wasn't that so much fun? I love going there so much. There's so many pretty birds, so many different types of parrots. It's crazy. But I chose to do this one because I really like the colors. I was going to do like a red macaw maybe, or the blue macaw. But I decided I like this one because it has the teal and it contrasts really well with the yellow. And there's some green in there. So I thought this would be a really fun one to do. And I'm going to show you a few of my references that I used to make this art piece. Okay, so here are the first two references that kind of inspired the idea to do this art piece. Here is one of them. It's just like a little, I don't know, a little parrot figurine. So here's the first one. So cute. I've had these since I was like little and I just found them again. And then here's the blue macaw. And like I said, I was going to do this one, but it's only blue. And I thought, you know what, more color would be more fun to do. More pleasing to the eye. So I decided to go with this one. And this one doesn't actually have green on it, but I'm also going to be using a reference picture on my iPad right here, so you know I can do my work, look up at it, and that one has green on it, so that's why there's green. Also, a pretty hard part about this whole piece, probably one of the most hard parts, was the beak. It's hard to do because some of the parrot's beaks have, you know, scratches or little dents in them. So what I just did for this, I did a bunch of layers of black, and then eventually I started to press harder and harder on the black until it was kind of like shiny when you look at it. And then I just did a little bit of white on top for accents and, like I mentioned, like the cracks. When you look at a picture of a parrot's beak, it's never perfectly black, so that's why you gotta add stuff like that to make it look more realistic. And I also used a little bit of light gray to help with that too. And I did a little bit of white just on the edges of the beak to give it a good highlight. One of my other good tips for you guys for this art project in specific is make sure when you're drawing the feathers like on the top and going down, you have to make sure you know the feathers are going a certain way. So on this project, they kind of start up and then they head down all the way through the chest and the back. And then you have the wing where the feathers go up and then down. You have to know the flow of the feathers, which way they're going. You have to make sure you know that before you start, because if you don't, you'll be like, which way are these feathers supposed to go? And then it will look kind of weird. And you have to make sure when you draw them, all of the little lines for all the little feathers are going the right way. This is very important art. You can't just do, you know, a couple feathers this way and then this way, because that would look really interesting. And parrots don't even look like that. So that's very important. And I did do a couple of little messy feathers at the top, so that's why I went like this direction and then slightly this direction. But I didn't go, you know, like one way this way, one way that way. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind while you're doing this. And that brings me to what we're going to need for today's art tutorial. Basically, colored pencil, tone tan or gray sketchbook, and, well, pencil sharpener, pencil eraser, maybe a ruler, and I think that's it. Oh, right, and a white gel pen. I always forget that. The brands of color pencils I'm mainly going to be using for this are Magic Fly and Prismacolor. And as you can see, I already have some of my colors set out. That's actually a pretty good tip. So my first tip for you guys is have your colors already set out before you start. Like all the shades of green, because there's a lot of green in the Parrot. And then all the yellow shades for all the yellow. So green, yellow, and then blue. So I have all my blue set out over here. And then of course whites and blacks for the beak and all these little colors for the eyes. So have those set out. Anyways, I'm super excited. So let's get started. And I actually did a pretty similar art project to this one a while ago. I think it was about a year ago. Here it is. So as you can see, it has some similar coloring. So I'm going to show you guys some of the major things that make this one look realistic and this one not as realistic. Okay, so the first major thing is, you know, the way of the feathers. And on this one, I didn't really capture the way how the feathers are supposed to go, especially on this part. I have some going this way, and like all these down here, they're not really flowing the same direction. So it makes it more look like messy fur or something rather than clean feathers. So that's probably the first mistake that I made on this one. And the eyes are pretty similar, at least for color, but as you can see, this is just a big space of white. And sometimes in art that can look a little strange. You always want to have like all these little black markings come at least more down, just so it looks more even. Like it kind of just like white right there in your face, like so much white. But at least for this one, you can see I did a lot more browns and yellows just to darken it, because when you look at the parrot's face, this part at least, it's a little wrinkly and it has more colors other than just plain flat white. You never want it to look flat, kind of like I did here, because you know, I did that one a long time ago. But yeah, that's basically some of the differences between these two. And see, this one, I have all the little black strokes coming in from the top right here. And this one, it's just really random. Like, these ones are small, these ones are big. And they're too organized. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but see how they're in like straight lines, but these ones are more in like different places. So yeah, they can't be exactly perfect, straight, plain, flat when you're doing this type of art piece. Also, something else I just kind of realized that's kind of funny is that this one has a bigger eye than this one, at least like in comparison to body size. Like, this one looks a little strange, to be honest. But, you know, from this one, I've learned from my mistakes and I've made it better. So at least that's an improvement. Oh, I actually might have forgot to mention, this might be obvious to you, maybe not, but this one was done in acrylic paint, whereas this one is in colored pencil. Okay, so we're done with the tutorial. I had a lot of fun. Here is the finished product. I think it turned out super great. Other than that one I showed you in the beginning, I haven't really drawn many parrots before, especially in colored pencil. I've never done one like this before that's like a realistic animal in colored pencil. So it was definitely a little tough, my first time on this, but I think it turned out pretty good. I really enjoyed doing this. I thought it was super fun. So you guys are gonna have to tell me if it was easy for you guys or if you thought it was hard. And you'll have to make sure to tell me what kind of paper you used for this one, because I'm curious to know. And even more importantly, I want you guys to tell me in the comments what animals you want me to do next in art tutorials. I mean, I've gotten a few comments. I have a list written down of a few suggestions you guys have given me, but I'm gonna need more because I'm gonna do more of these types of tutorials. I think I'll probably do an animal next other than an object. I'm not sure, but you can comment objects too. Any object, pretty much anything, and I will draw it for you guys for a tutorial. So, make sure to comment, and make sure to leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you were able to follow along, that's awesome. Good job. If you just wanted to watch this for fun and, you know, just watch the cool time-lapse of me drawing a bird, then, well, that's awesome too. So, make sure to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!